I want to do this AMA question.
Sure.
We are now in an alternate reality where YouTube and Twitch never existed. Where and what do each of you see yourself doing? Do you find some other platform to perform on? Do you get a 9 to 5 and want to crash your car every day headed into work? How do creative people fare in a world with severely stunted creative outlets?
I think something else would have came along. Like if it weren't YouTube, then like I don't know, MySpace video would have been a thing, or E-Bombs World.
Like cheap, one of those. Yeah.
There'd have been some video sharing platform, but I guess if you're just choosing some sort of alternate reality where nobody comes up with a video sharing platform, which I don't think exists because it's just such a natural like way for things to progress, especially when all of a sudden everyone has a camera phone, right? Like I don't know. I like sales. I still like sales. It's fun selling things and pitching things. So something there, you know. I might have went back to school and like done something in marketing, perhaps, or I might have continued on into like doing finance stuff. I don't know. I was enjoying that at the time when I was doing it. You know, I liked selling cars. That was always fun. I loved it. I still miss it.
Yeah, sales is fun.
I don't know. So for me, it doesn't even have to be if YouTube never existed. It's like if I had never found Hutch's videos. The reason I started making videos was that I wanted to play with Hutch. I thought that we would win Call of Duty games all night long, and the only way to get noticed was to make videos. That's how it all started for me. I've talked about that before. So had that not happened, I'd still be at Cisco. I'd probably be in management by now, you know, because or some senior level tech job that is practically, you know, the same as management. That's where I was headed, and it's almost where I was. But I don't think I'd like it. Like it was the YouTube and what's come after that has been just such a dream. My bad days are better than good days of a 9 to 5. You know, that's I don't know. I feel really lucky that this worked out. But had YouTube and Twitch never come along for me, I think I'd just be in management, living a regular life that was a little mundane. Not the joy.
Yeah, I mean, I just wouldn't have ended up doing it. Like, if YouTube wasn't around for me to poke into. The reason I kind of got into it, I mean, there were people I watched that I was like, that'd be fun to chat with them, see what they're like for real. But it was also like I watched people who were doing it at the time in like 2010 and was like, these people are not funny. These people are not entertaining. They're not telling good stories. They're just, they'll say a sentence and then they'll say nothing for a minute and a half and then say another sentence. And it's like, Jesus Christ, like what? The barrier of entry is so low and the competition is so low. I may as well give it a shot. Worst case scenario is people go, hey, idiot, you're just as boring and stupid as the people you were watching. So figured I may as well try.
That same thing exists now in the paramotor world. Like it reminds me of gaming in its infancy in that there's just not that much competition there. So everyone's this tiny little community is thirsting for more and more content. And sometimes you're like, you know, oh my God, you know, it took 2 minutes for you to start your launch. Like, this is making me crazy. You know, or, you know, you're not talking, or your audio is so terrible. It's funny for me to bring that up that, you know, like I can't understand you saying, why are you at full throttle all the time when you want to say something? And there's just, there's a sort of a great divide between the people who try to get it really right and the dozens that don't.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's true. We've got some AMA questions if you guys would like to tap into some of those. I know Chiz is usually barking in our ear to do more of those, but he's not in attendance tonight. Have any of you guys ever been fired from a job? No. And is there a story in regard to that?
I have. So I was I guess my title was like manager of accounts payable and receivable for this railroad construction company. And it was early in my career and I was bad at the job. I've told this before. Really what the the bulk of the workload was making sure that it was okay to pay the bills. And then, so what would happen is the materials would be delivered on site. The guy who received it would job cost it because we assigned all the materials to different projects. That way you could tell if that project was profitable or not. So they were slow in getting that like packing slip or receiver, whatever you want to call it, back to me and job costed, which made it very difficult for me to pay the bills on time. You know, I wouldn't pay a bill unless there was proof of delivery. Otherwise, you could just send invoices to companies and get money for nothing. So I was young, and my response to them being slow in getting me the things I needed was to like cover for them. Like, oh, no, James isn't fucking up. Yeah, I'm sure we'll get this all worked out. And that just led to me getting fucked harder and harder. And I worked a lot, like 100, 120 hours a week, while at the same time going to school at night and commuting. I got straight Fs one semester in school, trying to like compensate for not getting these receivers on time. And it's long-winded, but like when I would have to pay a bill a week late, it became even more difficult as these paperwork like stacked up. And sometimes they tell me on the phone and then send the receivers later. And now I've got like shit to deal with that's not current. And in the end, after, I don't know, 6 months or so, I got fired. It was the worst firing ever. The guy took like 6 hours to do it. He kept getting interrupted. And so he talked to me, and I had hope through the whole time that this was just like it's time to pick it up, Woody kind of speech, and not a your time is done, Woody kind of speech. And
it took him 6 hours to get it done.
It might have been 4, but like a lot.
Regardless, like the way you fire someone is immediate, instant. You say the purpose of it right away.
Yeah.
And would you rather be fired by phone call so you don't even have to go in?
I can see
He's
that.
probably already at work. Usually they wait till the end of the day.
It was in the morning, and obviously because it took all day. But yeah, so I came in, we started talking, and then like, oh, I'm really sorry, I got to take this call. And I would go back to work and just start working. We'd talk again for like 15, 20 minutes, and then he got interrupted, got a little fire to put out. And my firing just kept getting broken up. And
you know what it actually was? He wasn't getting interrupted. He was nervous to fire someone, and he had to keep making you go back so he could remuster and rehearse his stuff. Was he a younger manager, or had he been doing it for like decades?
No, I think you're off target. He was 45 or 50, and he was successful.
Well, so he's just an unprofessional.
It'd been going on for a long time, and he was worth millions and millions. So I don't think he had a problem firing someone. I think he was just sort of hands-on in his style. And anyway, yeah, so he fired me really poorly. He even offered to give me a letter of recommendation. He was just like, yeah, like you're working super hard. We can see the effort that you're putting in. That's why it took so long to like come around to this decision. But you're not good at what he said was, when I write a check when I sign all the checks, I don't have confidence that I should actually be paying all these. Like, he doesn't have confidence that my little department is being run well. And yeah, so that sucked. I really
6 months, you said?
Yeah, I think 6 months is a good estimate, something like that. And I felt terrible. If you've never been fired, like, it really seems like someone's just valued you not worthy. It hit my sense of self-worth, not that I was young, right? I was like 21 maybe. And, but like being professionally successful was a part of my sense of self-worth. And when that didn't work out, I had to move back home. My father was fucking relentless about treating me like I was in high school. I had my own apartment. I lived hours away from home, and suddenly I'm like a kid again. He even called me kid. He came into the room and changed the TV channel. And I was like, Dad, I was watching that. He's like, listen, kid, you are back here under my roof with my rules. And I was just like, oh my God, like I couldn't be lower right now. Thanks, Dad. But,
wow.
And then he beat me.
No, my father.
Honey, get the stilettos.
I don't think my father ever hit me. If he did,
down while my mother
it wasn't bad.
Came in with a stiletto. She had one in his hand. These stiletto nunchucks. They were connected.
It was so demoralizing. Yeah. And maybe it was good parenting. I don't know, because I worked to find a job like it was a job. Finding a job was different back then. It involved like classified ads in the papers and sending out resumes. And I would send out tons of resumes. And I opened up everywhere.
You're of the personality. You would have done that anyway. Like, he was needlessly, like, even if he hadn't been berating you, you would have been getting shit done and trying to find another job because that's the kind of person you are.
That is true. I
Like,
wasn't. Yeah.
Yeah, you weren't going to be like, oh, hot dog back home for life. You know, I tried the working thing. Fuck that. Like, no.
No, I wasn't
You're
going to
gonna
do
go
that.
out there and because some people are like that. Like, everybody has that friend or two who, after high school, went to college and then either finished college by the skin of their teeth, got a job, failed at it, and now live with their parents, and are kind of like, which, you know, nothing wrong with that. If you failed at something, just get back on the horse and try again. But they'll just consign themselves to like, well, I guess it's not for me. You know, whatever, that's okay. And everybody knows that person. Don't be that person. Like, that's a person who's going to be depressed as fuck in their 40s because they're going to look back on their 20s and realize they pissed life away.
Yeah. My next.
Have you been fired, Taylor?
No, I've never been fired. I wasn't sure if either of you had, and so that's why I asked that one.
Kyle, have you ever been fired?
No.
Well,
How effective would Wings be as a goalie? AMA question.
Not effective at all. I don't even know shit about hockey.
We may have done this one before. He would not be, or Kyle, give your explanation. 'Cause I'm
Yeah,
interested
not
in the
effective at all. Because first of all, he's not that big. Okay, he can't move around, and he doesn't play hockey, so it's not like he's going to be able to like anticipate shots and ever move. So you're really just counting on his surface area blocking a significant amount of the goal. However, hockey players, believe it or not, are good at shooting goals. So they can knock that puck through an area the size of a breadbasket, no problem. And there's going to be huge areas all around Wings that are open to score on at will. So no, he'd be a terrible goalie.
Kyle hit every point. He's 100% right. Fat people would be terrible goalies. Unless you're playing against children who can't lift the puck.
I have a caveat. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. If you play against bad players, everyone knows the story. When I first learned to play hockey, I took this how to play hockey class. I didn't realize it would be filled with people under 10 and me. So
After this, let's go back to this story.
and anyway, to like practice, they took a bench and laid it in front of the goal. 99% of the players were all stymied by this bench, just covering the bottom 1 foot. Yeah, there was nothing they could do. So
Hit the bench over 1 foot high.
if Wings just laid sideways, he would stop a lot of bad players.
Woody can confirm this. If you've never played hockey or tried to shoot a puck on ice, and you go out there and you try and shoot, you're gonna be like, "What the fuck? Is there glue keeping this thing on the ice? How do I make it go up? How do I get it to go up like the players do in the NHL?" Like, it will take you a while to figure that shit out or to learn how to shoot it hard enough with enough leverage to get it in the air. Pucks are way heavier than people think. And it's sticking to the ice, and so it wants to stay on the ice.
I would want a stick that was more like a highlight, like slinger on the bottom, where it had like a little shelf, right? That I could scoop the puck up with, and it was curved like the highlight thing, and you could get maximum velocity when you whip that thing. I suppose that wouldn't be fair, though, eh?
They
or
have
legal.
rules now about how curved it can be.
Don't know why.
Because they used to allow you to put that little hook on the end. Like, not quite a hook, but like slightly less. Still useful for grabbing the puck. But then it got to the point where they're like, this is ridiculous.
Have you ever seen
I
highlight?
still don't know why. Yeah, I have. But if you could pick up the puck and do like lacrosse shit with it, the game would just get better. And it's not going to get too bananas because people hit you. And you've got to be able to send it to someone else before you get laid out. I think the players would be more interesting if they had whatever curve they wanted. I would love it.
They sling that ball so fucking hard in highlight. I think it's like 150 miles per hour or something.
Isn't it made of like ceramic or something?
Yes.
Probably not ceramic because that would shatter, or maybe it wouldn't. I don't know.
Is highlight interesting at all?
No, it failed. I want to say I don't remember the exact history of it, but I think highlight had something to do with like a huge cocaine smuggler or something. He was using it to let me get this information.
It's a hard rubber ball. Okay, that makes more sense. But it's probably hard rubber in the same way that a hockey puck is hard vulcanized rubber. Like it's rubber, but it's super hard.
And if people
These
don't know,
balls go so fast.
they keep the pucks cold, frozen even, so that they don't bounce much. If the puck bounces across the ice, you can't play with it very well.
I like that George Bush. Don't play the game if you don't want to. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. That's what he said.
I wonder how
being once, I can flick it again.
I wonder how smart that guy was.
Went to Yale.
Right? But did he earn his way into
going
Yale?
to Yale doesn't mean shit if you're a president's son. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, he literally was.
He
a president's son.
graduated.
But it does.
Well, dude,
They don't just. They don't just.
while his dad was president.
They don't just wave you in.
He was in the Skull and Bones Society. That guy was.
Every professor is like,
in before he even got there. But on the other hand, like, he couldn't have been a complete dummy. And okay, he's a president's son. Doesn't that imply some level of like genetic intelligence? Winner,
he's governor of Texas.
I don't think he's an actual dumb person. Like he's
right.
like it's just
there
a
are people
joke.
who think
but
that.
Like he's not brilliant by any means. I don't think he's an exceptionally intelligent guy.
Who was our last brilliant president, though?
I think Obama and Clinton are both regarded as being pretty smart.
Oh, Clinton's in some hot water. Clinton coming out with a new book. And
what did Obama do that was smart? Like, what was his prerequisite?
Well,
he won the Nobel
was
Peace
a nobody
Prize,
when he got into his Ivy League school, so that's kind of a thing.
Where do you go?
Yeah.
Which Ivy
Nobel
League did
Peace
he
Prize.
go to?
No,
I think his wife
went to Harvard Law, didn't he?
Harvard.
Or no, University of Chicago, or one of those.
And then for law school, he went to an Ivy.
It's a good school. He's a smart guy. I guess I'm just thinking of brilliant differently. Like I'm trying to think of any president we've had like an actual genius. You know?
He did go to Harvard Law. You're right.
Like an Einstein level. But I guess the Einstein level people don't get involved in politics. They're doing something else. Who do you think our dumbest president was ever?
I think the smartest president in my like actively watching politics was probably Bill Clinton. Like he was a Rhodes Scholar. He's pretty legit.
Yeah, he's a dumb guy for sure.
And Obama might be second, and then on the Republican side, it's like Reagan, Bush, Trump, another Bush. Maybe HW is the smartest recent Republican.
Maybe, I don't know. It's hard to gauge. They're all in so many different situations. It's difficult to compare. And it's not like they have a standardized presidential test. That'd be hilarious. I wish we had access to something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. And
I think we probably overblow the intelligence of the really old presidents, you know, because we kind of read everything we kind of want to read into it. It's like, this founding father said this because he meant this, a brilliant orator of his time. And it's like, who's to say? We don't really know.
Right?
Did you ever see the old SNL, like Ronald Reagan bits that they would do where that the joke was that he was only pretending to be a dummy? It was like a cover. Oh, these.
That was like a joke after his dementia started to set in, wasn't it? Like in the last year or so.
That is a real thing. I do believe that he had dementia because what happened was, like, he had Alzheimer's that everyone agreed on that was a real problem. Like 3 months after he stopped being president, like all of a sudden he had a fairly severe set of. It's like, oh right, it just started. Are you guys ready to watch this?
Probably there for the full last.
Oh, but wait, the audio sucks. We keep putting it in these videos. The audio's gonna suck.
Well, for those of you who want to see it, it's called President Reagan Mastermind SNL.
I'm going to take so much heat for this video audio being bad for the second week. I don't know. I thought I had it fixed before the show. I tested it. Fuck, it sucks. But, yeah.
Well, Clinton's in a lot of trouble, it seems.
What did he do?
He gave an interview. He's putting out a new book. And I believe he was asked something about the Me Too thing and how it pertained to Monica Lewinsky.
As to how he would do in this Me Too era.
Yeah. And apparently he came off very badly, and then he got a lot of backlash, and then he went on the Colbert. What's Colbert? The Tonight Show? It's late night with Colbert. Whatever
Colbert show.
Stephen Colbert's late night show is. I can't remember which one it is because I don't watch that shit. But he's like, can you understand why many people thought your response was tone deaf in this Me Too generation, and just really was holding Clinton to the flames, and he was like, well, it was the things I did 20 years ago, I'm very regretful, and I've apologized, and I've had to live with what I did. And he was just trying to explain everything, and it was just like, shit, I'm just trying to sell some fucking books here. I didn't know you guys are gonna nail me to a wall.
Might be working.
Damn.
The first interview where he got in trouble, I don't know that he said anything so wrong, like you would quote it and read it terribly, but he came on like the counter-offensive. He's like, you are being biased. You are asking questions that he didn't have. I guess my interpretation of it is he has spent so much time apologizing for the same indiscretion that he's run out of apologies.
Yeah, look, I understand that. I get it. I don't mean that I relate to it necessarily, but I can empathize with it. It's like, Jesus Christ. First of all, he didn't do anything bad. The worst thing he did was lie about it.
And cheat on his wife.
I don't care about that.
I do.
I'd cheat on her too. Look at that fucking nasty old. I don't think she's into dudes anyway. I don't. I think that the buffet was closed for Mr. Clinton, and he had to get something ordered in.
One way to open the buffet is to be a nice, loving husband.
I don't think she's into dudes. I think that he married a lady who doesn't like men. I think that's the situation there. And I don't. And he'd been fucking chicks improprieties his whole life. Like going back to when he was a governor in Arkansas or whatever. There was multiple women that kept coming out that said he'd push them up against the bookcase and grab their titties and kiss them and stuff like that. He didn't do that to Monica Lewinsky. When Linda Tripp or whoever it was ratted her out, Monica was pissed. She's like, "You've ratted me out? What the fuck? I confided in you that I was blowing the leader of the free world. This was between us. Had to tell somebody." And she's like, "You didn't tell him about the dress, did you?" "You told him about the dress." Jesus Christ, that was a little quirky anecdote I told you. I thought it'd be like an episode of Seinfeld. Ha ha, the president jizzed on my dress. I gotta get this thing to the dry cleaners. What do you mean that's destroying evidence in a federal case? Oh no! What have you done to me? Like, the whole thing was bullshit. He didn't do anything wrong. He didn't even fuck her. He didn't even fuck her.
I don't know if I buy that.
She says he didn't fuck her. He says he didn't fuck her. He pleasured her with a few of those lovely Cubano cigars that he had in his office there.
Well, she had to say that, or she would have been taken on a nice little helicopter ride. You know what I'm saying?
You ever see a intern blow a smoke ring with her pussy? It's a beautiful thing.
You ever see an intern soak the tip of the last one of Kennedy's Cubans? I bet you haven't. Of course, I was the president. I can get as many as I want whenever I want.
Yeah, I got no problem with it. Like, I'm not a big fan of Clinton or anything, but like, I didn't think he did anything wrong. I didn't care. I still don't care. They should lay off him on that shit. He didn't. Now, the women that he supposedly assaulted, that's what they should be focused on. People might not like to talk about it because the most recent person to like bring it into the limelight was Donald Trump. When he's like bringing all the accusers to the debates and shit, that was gold. Remember that? That was hilarious. He's like, I'm gonna bring all of the women who have accused this man of sexual assault to the debate with his wife. That's gamesmanship. That's fucking dirty, low down gamesmanship. It's hilarious. And like anybody who's just who doesn't even care about taxes or the economy or foreign policy, they're like, holy shit, this is Jerry Springer on the world's largest stage. Let's go. What's going to happen? It was wonderful. That was hilarious. But yeah, I don't care that he cheated on his wife. I don't like it if he's sexually assaulting ladies or using his position of power to coerce them into something that they don't want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I care about both of those things. It says something about the moral character. And the president is a moral leader in some ways too. Like, heck, I'll say this. With Trump saying, there's bad guys on both sides and such, I feel like he's made racism more okay in a little bit. There was a national conversation about whether a blowjob was cheating because Clinton said it wasn't. If you guys don't remember that.
No, he said it wasn't sex.
Yeah.
I want to say he said we can't have sex because that would be cheating. But a blowjob, kiss on the cheek, blowjob. Like you do this with other people.
Yeah, the argument was that
birds of a feather.
that a blowjob wasn't sex.
But the quote was, he would only do a blowjob because elsewise it would be cheating. That's what he told Monica Lewinsky.
Maybe that was the rules he had with Hillary.
But I remember on the news and such, because I was a young adult at the time. I was like 20 something. And it was like, is a blowjob cheating? And everyone is like, gosh, I mean, I always thought it was, but I guess we need to re-examine this.
And upon re-examination, yes, putting someone's penis in your mouth is cheating.
Yeah. And I felt like Clinton did something to lower the country's morality, when he did that.
That Kennedy never did.
Well,
Kennedy
didn't say that.
Kennedy banging starlets and lying to the American public, basically starting the Cuban Missile Crisis and then inflaming it and then lying about how he solved it.
And Ted Kennedy absolutely didn't let a woman die in the trunk of his car and forget about it conveniently for a couple days.
Is the trunk part true?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Is this the Chippewa thing? Am I mixing it up? Because
I thought she was in the passenger seat.
Yeah.
You're right. She was in the passenger seat.
Yeah.
Chappaqua.
Right. It's a tough one. That sounds pretty good.
Drowned a woman in my car.
Yeah. If I remember right, he was drunk driving. He drove off a bridge, maybe into a lake for sure, and he was able to get himself free. And he sort of just let that situation settle for a bit. So now like the alcohol's out of his system. Yeah. And now he's not drunk anymore. Now like that. Look, that was 2 days ago. Who's to say? And don't
forget about John Kennedy's dad working with the mob as well as lobotomizing one of his children.
Yeah.
At the time, I don't judge lobotomies as harsh because they thought that it was helping. They had no idea the actual impact of it. That's
like looking forward from 50 years
where you're a
being
danger to yourself and everyone around you, and you might swallow your tongue and die. And
I believe she was masturbating.
Oh, really?
That's just hot. No, I think it was more. But it's like 50 years from now, they might look back and be like, he put his children on Adderall. Do you know well that at the time
they put their kid on hormone treatment when he was 7? Yeah, here he is parading around a rally. Everybody was cheering.
Yeah, I don't know. I forget how we were on the Me Too era. Yeah, he just was. Yeah. It was like he ran out of apologies and started going on the offensive, and the whole world saw it and said, "Nope, you need to be apologetic on this until the day you die. You need to be sorry. You need to, don't go clapping back at people asking you. It's just you'll never get past it."
Yeah, I want to talk about fun things. I want to talk about MRSA. I want to talk about.
That's the first actual topic on the show is MRSA.
I want to talk about slavery.
Causes bloody T-shirts, right?
Yeah. Let's kick off with MRSA because I'm down with that. Do you know exactly what MRSA and staph infections are? Because in my head, they're just really big pimples. But I have a friend whose daughter had MRSA. And apparently, this was like 10, 15 years ago, so I don't know if medicine's improved. But for her, it was a really big deal. And they were like happy she didn't lose the leg.
MRSA and staph can be a huge deal. So from my understanding, I'm not Googling or anything, but just off the top of my head, what I believe I know is that MRSA and staph bacteria live on your skin all of the time. It's always present.
Yeah.
All of us have it.
But we all wash, right? We all wash daily. And we don't get like wounds and then let them get sweaty and then go to bed and wake up the next day and game for 8 hours and then go back to bed and then drip a bit of grease or gravy perhaps into the wound and think think back to that time and remember the outlaw Josie Wales when Granny spit that mustard poultice on the bullet wound? This will be just like that. Bit of gravy in there that'll heal it up. And then we just go another day without bathing, like we're Ice Poseidon or something. No, that's not what we do. But it's what some people do. And there's also athletes, of course. You're rolling around getting abrased, and then maybe you don't take a shower right after you do jiu-jitsu or do wrestling or even gymnastics, whatever. And you get it from the pads, especially because those pads are, if they're not washed properly,
Bleached, actually. You have to put bleach on it.
I was gonna say, like
Yeah.
people who aren't into those activities and have never seen it done, after they roll on the mats, like several guys go out there with big squirt bottles of bleach or some other powerful disinfectant, hose everything down and scrub the fuck out of the mats to prevent this sort of thing from happening. But
You have to.
Yeah.
Everybody who wrestled in high school knows the kid who was too shy to shower after wrestling, and they end up getting an infection. Because it's like, this isn't a joke.
That's what
You're going to get something.
Andy does for Joe Lozon. He's been on the show before. He cleans the mats. That's part of his role.
Oh,
you know what?
Job.
I did my Googling. MRSA is staph. It's a kind of staph that's particularly resistant to many antibiotics. It's just super staph.
Yeah, I didn't have to. I'm definitely not on mayoclinic.org. I just know this. It's called methicillin-resistant Staphylococcus aureus.
It was funny,
And it says that as far as causes go, there about a third of the population has it, like in their nose or mouth, but it only becomes a problem when it gets into an abscess or it causes abscesses unless it gets into a cut or something. But even then, it says
Or
if you're a healthy
fold.
person, it's most likely to just be a little skin thing and then go away on its own if like your immune system is banging on all cylinders. Less than 2% of the population chronically carries the type of staph bacteria known as MRSA. So you have to kind of pick that up. Like
mean,
most people
filthy
don't have
have
that
MRSA.
that kind naturally.
So it's not
Okay,
true
thank
that
you.
everyone. Okay. I think
Everyone has staph bacteria, but only the very filthy, the filthiest few, you might say, have MRSA.
I thought you were going to
lingering
say
and
the very
crawling about
best,
their body.
the
Yeah.
elite among us, and be nice.
The elite among the filthy.
Well, and MRSA is the kind you also can get from wrestling mats. Like that
Yeah.
same kind of thing. I don't know how
UFC
that,
fighters get it a lot, which is part of how I'm like exposed to it. Not my universe is exposed to it. I don't mean to act like I'm a UFC fighter, but yeah, that's what I see it a lot. Fighters, they'll either miss it or they'll fight with MRSA, and that
Yeah.
itself becomes a bit of a controversy.
Yeah, what an asshole. I hate the pictures they use on WebMD or Mayo Clinic because they never show the progression of a disease. So on this page I'm looking at, it shows staph infection with two images next to each other, and one of them is just a small red spot that you might get from bumping one's elbow against the corner of a table or something. And the other one is a full bored out abscess. And it's like, you're just trying to promote paranoia.
Yeah.
Like now I'm going to see a little dot on myself and be like, oh, I'm 2 days away from a crater with like maggots crawling around in it. But I wouldn't actually, because I'd go to the doctor. I wouldn't let it,
I
fester.
think I got bit by a recluse spider last year.
Really?
Yeah.
Come on, that would have been awful. It would have. Did you get necrosis? That didn't stop without medical attention? Because that's what happens.
So it wasn't gigantic like I see on the internet, like the holes that are the size of your face or
Yeah.
anything like that. It was on my shin, and at first it looked like a pimple, kind of, but it kind of became like a crater. And I did go to the doctor. Of course, I went to the doctor for a physical, and I showed it to him at the time. And they thought maybe it was a tick-borne infection of some sort. And it just took a long time, like 3 months, to fully go away. And
Yeah.
we have
People
recluse
don't-
spiders in this area, and I think maybe I just had not your classic giant problems, but that's what I think it was.
Yeah, the brown
How did
recluse.
you know it was one?
He's saying because there's a crater where the thing was,
okay.
And
I'm
the
not
slow
sure if that's-
healing and-
I didn't know that was the only spider that did that.
so the brown recluse causes necrosis. It's sort of flesh eating, and it's with its bite, and it's not one of those things where it's like, now I have a tiny crater. Let me just clean that up. It continues until it is treated professionally, and so there's the well-known story, especially down here in the South, where we have these spiders, of the guy who got bitten on the dick. He sat on the toilet. Spider bit him on his crotch, and he was embarrassed, as some are wont to be, about going to the doctor about a bite on his dick, and he lost the penis.
What?
He lost the penis, yes.
Wow. I'm
This isn't fun. I'm looking up brown recluse spider bites, and I just found one from STL Today. Extreme case of brown recluse spiders drive owners from home.
Jesus.
Yeah, I guess it's the Midwest and parts of the South that have a ton of these fuckers. And it said here, this is a UCR spider research. Let me link this for you. It's going to have a lot of helpful tips for you,
Oh,
Woody.
what a fun group of guys.
If you look up recluse
For the
bite,
spider research.
the most mild here, I'll link you guys. Not that you need help googling. The most mild versions are kind of like what I had. Like there's
Early stage though, that's it doesn't, from what I understand, it doesn't stop. It doesn't get better. Oh my god, I don't want to. Oh my god, there's one of the.
Look at that guy's finger.
the thumb.
No, the forefinger, like this. It's his right hand. Is that the one you're looking at? Oh my god, it literally looks like the exit wound of a small caliber bullet. It looks like someone shot him with like a 38 or something. His skin is just.
You're definitely not
like
looking
one
at
of
the
those,
thumb one.
those fake pussy procedures they do where they invert your dick and scrotum. Like this is like
those are beautiful. Those are beautiful,
post.
you bigot.
Are they? I haven't looked them up.
A week after Pride Day. Good God.
So
A week after Pride. You're right. Oh, this is so not appropriate. I should have waited till July.
I don't know what was on my shin that took 3 months to heal, but the most mild of I wonder what does a recluse bite that's not crazy look like. I mean,
It must be this one, the one you linked. Like that makes sense, right?
Yeah,
Because the rest of these are bananas.
right. I just have to believe they don't go bananas every time. That
From what I understand, they go bananas every time unless you go to the doctor. Everyone describes it as like, oh yeah, it was a little thing, and then the next day it was bad, and then, well, I just forgot about it, and then my leg was off the next week. It's like it gets into crazy town eventually if not treated. At least that's been what I've been told always is because they always stress if you get bitten and it starts looking this way, you've got to get to the ER. You've got to get treatment for this because it won't stop until you are dead.
Man, these are some of the worst, most gruesome images. Like some of them are it's like someone took an ice cream scooper to some of these people's forearms and just carved out an entire scoop.
Oh my God!
That's
There's
how,
one of the guy's thumb. Probably what Woody was pointing at. And I almost feel like I can see maybe not bone, but like the operating tendon that like is on the back of the thumb. I can see some interworkings there.
Yeah, if that guy moved his thumb, you could see it.
Oh no, I can see the bone on
about.
this guy's ring finger. There's one of this guy's ring finger, and I can see the bone clear as day.
Now, Woody, this should make you feel better. Here's some tips for it. Be aware that it is almost impossible to eliminate recluse spiders from a building once they get established. The best you can hope for is a significant reduction in the number of spiders. They're like illegal immigrants. You're not going to get rid of all of them, but you can try and significantly reduce it. Use sticky traps.
Don't check out.
Yeah, use sticky traps for these. Remove bed skirts from your beds. Move your bed away from the wall. Remove everything from under the bed so that the only way for the spiders to get up is to crawl up one of the 4 legs.
Oh, terrifying, right? Like that. I have that kind of paranoia to the point where like I got rid of bed skirts in adulthood. I was like, won't the little things be able to use that as like a little ladder to get to me?
Oh, they do, apparently.
They do. And of course, I've told the story before, but when I was like, I don't know how old I was. Maybe 12 to 14, somewhere in there, the centipede got into my bed and bit me on the stomach in my sleep, and it hurt. Oh, it was horrible. And I am now terrified of them. I got up out of bed and there was a hammer handy in my room. I had been putting up a picture frame, and I went like Planet of the Apes on that thing until it was mush in the carpet. It was traumatic. It was traumatic. My parents come storming into my room because they hear the wham, 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 and like screams, like because I'm in there pounding a centipede into mush with a goddamn ball-peened hammer. Yeah, that was
those
awful.
centipedes are unnerving.
They so many legs.
Too many legs. I'm on eMedicine Health, and it looks like the majority of brown recluse bites, I might be saying it wrong, cause little permanent skin damage, although in some cases moderate to severe tissue destruction is possible. And that was my theory, that the ones you see on the internet are the 1% of bananas, and that...
The filthy few.
That's how all of these spider bites, snake bites, diseases... Like, of course, Google Images is going to come up with all the nasty of the nastiest, or the nastiest of the nasty. Yeah. It says here that most households with brown recluses never experience a bite, and 90% of all brown recluse bites heal without severe scarring, and many of them just cause a little red mark that heals without a vent. And I guess that correlates with if you're, younger and healthier. Not too young, because I just saw a picture of a baby's arm, pretty much nothing,
Yeah,
because like some negligent parent didn't get him taken care of.
They just carried him away.
my shin had a I don't know, like a little crater in it, right where the bone is.
Man, I really hope that Lord of the Rings series ends up being good.
If it's about Aragorn's life, I'm gonna be so upset.
I wouldn't want to watch Aragorn's life either. I don't want something that's singularly focused. I'd rather there be an event that you're tracking, and then you kind of have those tendrils coming out of different storylines, kind of like Lord of the Rings, where you get a little dose of Hobbit culture, a little dose of Elvish culture, a little bit of dwarf, a little bit of the Dunedain men like Aragorn. Like that's kind of what I would like.
It's a prequel, right?
Yeah, it's going to be a prequel. Kyle, I think, knows better. When is it exactly taking place?
I don't think they've exactly said.
Oh.
I don't know why they do prequels so much. I feel like sequels should be the default. That should be the answer to me for things in general 90% of the time. When you do a prequel, we already know kind of how it ends, like what's on the other side of this. Spoiler, Aragorn doesn't die. Aragorn is going to be put in all kinds of precarious positions in this prequel. Am I saying his name wrong?
Aragorn.
Aragorn,
yeah.
Thanks. He's going to put in all kinds of precarious positions during the sequel, and I know that he'll be fine. Because
see, I think that might be part of the reason they do it. It's like we could do a sequel, or we could do a prequel where we're basically just meandering our way to the end, which is already decided.
Well, there isn't a whole lot after the trilogy. Like the trilogy is kind of like the culmination of Tolkien, but there's this enormous amount of stuff behind the trilogy that has nothing to do necessarily with the Ring of Power or anything. Like Sauron was the big bad villain of the trilogy. But he's not the big bad villain of the universe. He's like a demon. There's a Satan, there's
Morgoth.
a Satan, Morgoth, that could be part of the story. You could go back to the whole like Genesis of Shelob, the gigantic spider who is really like a female goddess who's like in the body of that spider. Like there's this whole backstory of like different gods and goddesses that's a bit like Mount Olympus. There's good ones and evil ones, and some of the gods created different races here on the, or not here, but in Middle Earth, and some you could see the corruption of the elves. Like there's a lot of stuff you could see. You could see the whole journey of the elves over to Middle Earth from the Undying Lands, and how there was treachery and the boats were burned. Like there's enormous epic tales there, but like what we saw in the trilogy is like the last 10 minutes of like Tolkien storytelling, but there's an enormous amount before it. It has nothing to do with it.
But if Aragorn, did you say, what was his name?
Aragorn.
Thank you. If Aragorn is in it, then it tells me something about the ending of it, and that's a bit
if
spoiled
Aragorn's
to
in
me.
it, I don't like
because
that either.
When I watch, I thought we knew that he was. When I watch Game of Thrones, part of the fun of it for me is that at any episode, major people could die. There was a red wedding, there was a purple wedding. If you told me that Daenerys, I think, died in the last season, I'd be like, I buy it. It could happen, I don't know that the major of the most major characters like Tyrion, Daenerys, Jon Snow, I don't know that they're all going to make it. So that's fun. But if it's in the prequel, then you sort of do know who makes it, and we'll see what's up. I hope it's great.
I really hope that it's not that. I hope that it's not Aragorn's life, because like he's like 90 years old or something like that in the trilogy. So like it could be they're saying it's gonna be 5 seasons. That I know. It's gonna be 5 seasons of TV. It's hard to say though how many episodes per season. 5 episodes per season, or 10 episodes, or 12 episodes. That's a big swing.
When Lord of the Rings ends, do they wrap up that whole universe? Because Kyle just said that, like, it's the last 10 minutes of a giant story. But I'm like, how is anything the last, right? Until that planet hits the sun.
There's no more magic left in the world. Like all of the main magical characters, kind of all the elves leave Middle Earth and go to the Undying Lands, which is like not really their heaven. It's just another continent where there's still magic.
It's meant to be the symbolism of heaven.
Yeah, it's like an embodiment of an afterlife here on Earth because they're immortal. But that they all kind of go over there, and it's sort of like, and they lived happily ever after.
Gimli made it.
You know
in.
what? I want like more of this. I have such a preference for sequels to prequels that I'm like, you can undo all that, and then the dragon hit the ground, and the elves said, you know what, you guys look like you need a hand. I'm on my way, and the giant escalator formed, and they came down from heaven and went for round 2. I'm down.
I don't like your version. It's not the one I'm comfortable with.
There's 90 minutes of them standing still. Like, should we walk down the escalator or just stand here?
That's the other thing. There's this whole period of time with dragons. There's this whole period of time where there are many dragons. I think there are ice dragons too. That happens, way in the past. I'm excited about a prequel because pretend it's a sequel because none of the only characters who are still alive are like Gandalf and Claire. What's her name? The super hot chick. The old
Liv Tyler chick.
No, she was Galadriel. Yeah, Galadriel. Like Galadriel would be alive. Shelob would be alive. Gandalf would be alive. Fucking Liv Tyler's dad, whose name's escaping right now. He'd probably be alive.
Lord Elrond.
She didn't know that Steven Tyler was her father until like in the middle of her life, and then she abandoned the guy she thought was her father and went and started an acting career.
I hope that that's not like an accurate telling. I hope that like her real father still feels loved and part of her life, but now she has
restraining order. She made him change his name. I'm kidding.
Wait, why?
She didn't want to be anywhere nearly associated. I saw
Tylers.
Yeah, I saw Steven Tyler on the Joe Rogan Experience recently. He's a fucking kook. There are guys. Did you know that he was an absolute kook? Like he's on there and he's like, I think that humans have been around for like way longer than we think, like millions of years. And Joe's like, well, there were early hominids, but modern man has existed from somewhere from between 250 and 350,000 years. People like us that look like us, think like us, et cetera, et cetera. Same brain size. And I think we went underground there, like into the Grand Canyon. Like, where'd that come from? Like, there are these tunnels that go like 3 miles underground. I think we hid there. But what were we hiding from? Yeah. And Rowan's just he's like, there's tunnels. There are caves. Here's one for me. I'm thinking about buying either a widescreen 1440p monitor, curved monitor I have, plus a $500 4K TV, or the upgraded version of my monitor, which that has slightly better specs. I think it's got higher frame rate. Do you stand by your purchase, or do you think I'd be better off with a regular 4K monitor plus a TV? I watch movies with my roommate, and it'd be weird to watch things on my monitor. I really like mine. I'm not using it right now. I'm using a standard one because I plan to stream eventually, and I wanted to get used to that. But I fucking love my curved monitor so much. It's really nice. And the thing is, like, I don't know what kind of PC you've got, but my PC is like $4,000, almost $5,000, and it has a hard time pushing a 1440p this curved monitor past the frame rates that it's capable of. It has a hard time getting more than 100 frames. Whereas with the standard 1440p monitor that I'm using right now, the BenQ, I get on PUBG, I get like 100 and 145 like most of the time. I think it's 145. Might be talking out of my ass. 100 and whatever its max is, I stay there. And I like that a lot. The thing about the cheaper 4K TVs, I'm not sure how I feel about that. I bought Amazon had some kind of special deal on 4Ks like a year ago or something like that, and I bought a couple of them. I got like a 42-inch for myself, and I bought my dad like a 55-inch 4K TV for his bedroom, and he likes it a lot, but I'm just kind of so-so on mine. I don't know. I don't know how. It's up to you. I feel like if you're gonna have a 4K TV, maybe save up and like get a really nice one and a 4K Blu-ray player, because that's like the ultimate viewing experience. But as far as the monitor goes, depends what games you're playing. If you're playing like Fallout, oh my god, it's so great. The thing about an ultra wide monitor though is you're gonna want to go to a YouTube channel called it used to be called Wide as Fuck, but I think they correct him on that, so now it's like an acronym for that. It's that like
WAF.
broken down. Yeah, it's something like that. It's wide as FCUK or something weird like that. But why? If you type wide as fuck monitor or something like that on YouTube, you'll find his channel, and he does specialized videos for all of the new and interesting games, and he gives you tips and tricks to make those games work in ultra wide. Like in Fallout, I had to go in and edit some INI files and change a lot of stuff around to make the game perfect for ultra wide aspect ratio. It took a while. I can do it like really quickly now, but like the first time I did it, it probably took me 25 minutes or something like that to get all the files edited and get all the mods to work correctly. Because like I mean, little things like the UI doesn't fit the screen, right? Like your HP bar doesn't fit the screen right, so you've got to get a lot of stuff.
Are new
changed
games better like that? Because Fallout could be an old game.
Fallout 4, it's fairly new.
Is it?
So, yeah.
What
It's
year
good.
would that be?
2 years ago.
Oh, okay.
And we haven't talked about it. Fallout 76, Vault 76 was recently advertised.
Can I jump in? I want
Yeah.
your take on it
Yeah.
from this angle. Online, everyone's hating on Fallout 76. And my little exposures, they haven't told us anything beyond the name very much. Like, why are people hating on it, and what do you think?
The guy from Kotaku seemed to have a lot of inside information on it, and he's the same guy who leaked a ton of information about Fallout 4 when like a year before it came out, and like talking about what the game was going to be and where it was going to be based and everything. And he was totally ridiculed back then as well. Like, you don't know shit. You're a liar. These are fake. And then of course the day of redemption came when like they show what Fallout 4 is and what it's all about, and they're like, you were right the whole time, so fuck you for spoiling it. And he's just
Some
like,
day
I
of
can't
redemption.
win. And so he's like, they're giving him shit again because I believe, and I haven't read online in like 3 or 4 days, so maybe something has changed. But last time I read, they're saying that there's going to be a single player experience, much like all of the previous games, but it's also going to have some sort of a multiplayer MMO RPG kind of experience with base building and stuff like that. And I think people don't like that idea. I personally love that idea because I definitely want a single player experience. That's the most important thing in a Fallout game is role playing as whoever your character is, whether he's the courier or the vault survivor or whoever you're playing as, whatever Fallout you're playing. New Vegas is the best, all those are shit. And like pretending like you're that guy trying to like solve his problems, and especially if you're role playing to the extent where you're like, oh well, my guy's skill sets are these because that's the guy I'm building. He's a good sniper, he's a sneaky sniper, or he's a big dumb galoof that's like slugs people with a hammer. Like I love that shit. So as long as that's in the game, anything else is just like, candy on top. So I don't know why people are quite so upset about that, other than it's different, right? It kind of flies in the face of what they've done in the past. But I like the idea of multiplayer Fallout. I was saying like last year that, man, a Fallout Battle Royale would be cool, with like Fallout weapons scattered across the world and Fallout enemies maybe as like AI just kind of sprinkled in amongst the multiplayer players.
Sorry, I was out and missed it. What's the theme or the time frame?
So most of the Fallout games are several hundred years after the bombs fell and the whole world went to shit in this alternate version of Earth where like the microcomputer never became a thing, so everything is like vacuum tubes and nuclear fusion powered. This game is much sooner. This is Vault 76. It was one of the control vaults, and it's going to be just like 5 or 25 years, I'm not sure, I forget, after the bombs fell. So they're going out into a real shithole to try to reclaim it. The Reclamation Day or something like that was a big part of the teaser, and so it's going to be a very different game than the past entries in that regard.
I was thinking.
Sounds neat.
So PUBG is suing Fortnite for copying their game type.
Mm-hmm.
Woodycraft had a game called Survivor Games. You played it with me. And in that, you sort of start, and everyone at the beginning sort of rushes and gets their loot, and then you kill each other, and then when you kill someone, you get the loot off that guy. And at the end of the game, they put you in a smaller environment where you fight to the death, and there's one winner at the end. Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Yeah.
Woodycraft should sue PUBG. We had it before they did.
But you just copied the movie.
No one likes your horse shit, Kyle.
You just copied a movie that copied a movie.
But we called it Survival Games, not Hunger Games. Unrelated, Kyle.
Well, they called it Fortnite, not PUBG. Let's see how that works out in fucking Korea court.
I just thought of that. I was like, I think I guess Fortnite's more of a copy than PUBG is of what we had. But I was like, I don't know. If you squint just the right way, I could spend lots of money in court and go nowhere.
Yeah.
I'm spacing out on what the Hunger Games, yeah.
It's
the Hunger Games, which is just a real ripoff of Battle Royale. If anyone out there has never seen Battle Royale, that's another really good movie. It's Japanese. There are subtitles. So if that's a big turnoff for you, just don't pass go here. But it's on Netflix, and they kidnap a class of Japanese school children, and they inform them that they're going to fight to the death, and then they just
I've seen that.
They throw them out on an island.
It's on Netflix. Yeah.
As they call their names individually, like and like the kid runs to the.
Those are two different people, Kyle.
Suzuki Toyota.
Yamaha runs up there, and he gets. They each get a bag, and the guy and the bad guy is like, some of you will get good weapons, some of you will get not so good weapons, and he is not fucking kidding, because one kid gets an Uzi machine gun, another kid gets a pot lid.
Here's a sponge.
A girl gets one of those fans, the little like Japanese.
Do they have
fans
razors? Or
Can I interrupt?
I don't remember.
Does the fan become secretly useful in an unexpected way?
I thought for sure it did.
Oh, okay.
I thought for sure that she would be like, "Ha!" and like spikes would come out of it, like that Mortal Kombat character.
Mm-hmm.
No.
What point of racing is that a rifle, not a fit?
One kid has grenades. Another kid has a bulletproof vest. One kid's got a crossbow, right? Then another kid just, what did he have? Just like a hatchet. Like it was just, it really ran the gambit of like the best of the best weaponry and the worst. One kid's got a tracking device that shows him where all the other players are.
That's a good one.
Pretty
That's
helpful.
Any weapon.
Well,
except for the Uzi. I'd rather have the Uzi.
And like it's a real rich get richer scenario, because like the Uzi kid is just
takes out the hatchet kid.
waste.
Now he's Uzi hatchet guy.
Exactly. He's like, oh, you got grenades? All right, put these in my bag. Oh, you had a handgun. Well, save that for later. You had a bulletproof vest. Thank you.
That happens in survival games on Woodycraft as well.
It happened first. And Battle Royale. It's
I think there might be a
incredibly
second
violent.
one.
I don't know about that, but it's incredibly violent. I mean, and look, if you've seen the Hunger Games and you were like, "Where's the child murder?" It's in Battle Royale.
That's the common reaction. Yeah,
It's in Battle Royale. I watched the Hunger Games and I was
there
like,
is a second one.
I was like, "What is this shit?" First of all, there's no sex. There's no rape. There'd be a lot of sex and rape on that island. No rules. Fuck her to death. Let's go. You're probably going to die anyway. Only one of us is getting out of here.
she might even
Put
be
on a good
DTF. I mean,
She's probably DTF. One of the guys in Hunger Games tries to pull that move. He's like, we're probably going to die here either. Aren't you a virgin? You don't want to do it with me at least once?
in Hunger Games.
No, in Battle Royale.
Oh,
There's a spider on my microphone.
get it on camera.
Let me see.
I don't see it anymore.
Oh, that's perfect. I like that just as much.
No, it's fine.
Yeah, just ignore
What
it,
was that
Kyle.
little red violin-shaped thing on it, though? Did you see that too, Woody? A little
Yeah.
red pattern on its
Fuck you,
back.
I know what you're doing.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? We're trying to help you identify it. What kind of spider has a little red pattern on its back?
Yeah. It's like, I don't know, two triangles pointing at each other. Let me look.
Yeah.
I
It says
swear to God,
Black
it was
Widow,
right
but
here.
that can't be true.
No.
And it's definitely not the one crawling on your pants.
I
You looked.
I googled Black Widow, and it's just really hot chicks.
It's just Scarlett Johansson. I would love if I saw her crawling on my mic. Kyle, it's not on your mic.
You'll be fine. Hey, Taylor, can I do an AMA with you?
Yeah, let's do it.
How old was everyone when they realized that playing a sport wasn't going to be their career?
We did that one.
Because you probably hoped. Oh, Kyle says we did that one. Do you remember doing that one?
Where the fuck did this spider go? I swear to God, it was right here. Like on.
To those of you listening in the car, Kyle's been standing up, moving all of his equipment around because he thinks there's a spider. Do you think there's a spider, or do you know there's a spider?
I swear to God, I saw the spider. You know, it's on my microphone, so it's right in my face.
So just sit down, and then when it pops up again, you can kill it.
Fuck you! It was pretty big, and it was it was
probably
not kind of familiar with. It was black. It was not a Black Widow because it didn't have that like glassy, reflective, bulbous ass.
Don't worry,
No,
Kyle.
I'm pretty
I'm
sure
not
it
worried. You shouldn't be worried.
I think it's on me.
I think it's on me. It's under one of your layers. A spider can't hide when you're naked.
It's inside
like
me.
it's
Inside
could.
me.
You're gonna be like that black guy from that clip we watched earlier, where he explodes into all the little spiders.
Show us your anus, and we'll let you know if it's there.
Forego that.
Just it'd be a
Yeah.
highlight, I
Appreciate
bet.
that if I actually did it. If I called your bluff right there.
Kyle,
Monetize, motherfucker.
bleach it, Kyle, bleach it.
And this episode of PKA is going to be on Vimeo. because Kyle's asshole makes a cameo at 3 hours and 7 minutes or whatever the hell we're at.
You're pretty
Kyle,
close.
we're only I think we have less than an hour until 4 hours. You can sit there and risk it with this spider. You're gonna be fine. You're gonna be kosher. You're gonna be 2 thumbs up. If anything, it'll bite you and you'll build a little resistance. I can't believe he's actually freaking out about this.
I buy it.
Yeah, I thought he was hamming up the spider fear. Now,
Oh.
yeah, make sure you don't have any. Make sure you don't have any ear critters. But I think
Damn it.